Oh yes, of course. I'm hosting this one anyway, aren't I? Because Admirable's gone AWOL. Hello, welcome to Team Fortress TV, ladies and mostly gentlemen. We are doing an award tonight. I think that's got Sonny, Mike, Zebbosai, and kaidus on the panel. We've got a representative from each of the playoff teams from season 20. And also a big bad German admin who's pulling all the strings and has finally managed to get rid of Permzilla, who was holding everyone back. So, what should we talk about first? What should we do here? I'm at a loss as to what Admirable normally does when he begins these things, but I'm going to go ahead and dive straight into... should we talk about the Prem playoffs a little bit? Just before we go into the awards and stuff, let people know what happened and things... SonnyBlack, give us a lowdown on the season 20 fundraiser before we. What were these boys playing for?
Premiership played for a total of how much was it again?
That's 3,000, I think. The total prize pool was 3,000.
3,000 in the end.
Yeah,
3,000 euros with 1,500 going to first place, 900 to second place, and 600 to the third place. So the third place got more money than the first place of every other season before, almost every other season before.
So that's pretty incredible. Do you think that the fundraiser idea was successful?
Well, yes.
But again, I think it's sustainable. Is it something you're going to be looking forward to in the future to roll out for future seasons, or was it a one-off big event, season 20?
Well, it was planned to be a big thing because season 20 was like kind of a...
The 20th season.
Yeah, special thing. But we are not quite sure yet how sustainable running a fundraiser, for example, every season is. Like, we are not sure if we would have to come up with new perks every, like, almost a lot of new perks. Oh god. Because at some point people who donated will have the perks already and might not donate unless there's other things they could get in return for their donated money.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it the biggest perk that was chosen by everybody was just the emotes
name
on the forums and the custom name as well.
Yeah, the custom
Did anybody
title.
buy one? Did anyone in here buy a custom title for the forum?
No, I'm not donating shit to you at all.
Just take
how much were they?
Mike Moneybags Adams.
It was like 50 euros, I think.
Admirable got one.
But I don't think I got that one.
Admirable got one. I think he got official potato ambassador or something suitably retarded like that.
I think he's Toucan ambassador now.
Toucan ambassador. All right. Are you able to change those names on a day-to-day basis, or are they just set for the foreseeable future?
We are able to, but we won't. Like, I think we said we would change it once ever, but like if it's a reasonable time between the change of names, I guess we might change it more than once, but like not every other week or something.
So, kaidus, what do you think about the whole fundraiser idea? Do you think it's something that is sustainable to roll out over future seasons? Was it is it indicative of a good scene, the fact that we were able to raise three just a one-off thing? It's going to be depressing when we go back to tiny prize pools again.
It's not. I don't think it's like a one-off thing, but it's like I don't think we can stay on this scale every season. I was like thinking about this kind of to myself the other day, like kind of watching CS:GO. Like obviously we're not a game on that scale, but like, you know, they have their majors and stuff like a couple of times a year. Like they have events that are just that much bigger than what they have the rest of the year. And I was thinking like about TF2, where we just kind of have a season, and then we have another season, and then we have another season. Kind of thinking like, I don't know, maybe this fundraiser would be something cool to do, like maybe twice a year, and then or something. I don't know how you split it up, but like do it, you know, sometimes have it as like, you know, this is like a major season. This is a season to get excited for. And then you have stuff in between, you know, that isn't quite so. I think we could sustain it like that, but I don't think we could do this every single season. But I don't know.
I mean, something that I've been thinking of in terms of sustainability is like comparing it kind of in a way to the fees that people pay for ESEA or something like that. And if everybody paid the same kind of fees, obviously they wouldn't, but you'd have a large prize pot at the end. And they're prepared to pay that much every season just because that's what's required for them to play. But if if this became a thing, you might see the prize pool dip a little bit lower than it is now, but it could still be fairly large, I think. Mike Zebbosai, did you feel like you were motivated more to play this season because of the larger prize pool?
No, didn't change at all for me. I've always played a lot. But it's still nice to have there, of course.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, but like, I think I was planning on playing anyway because of Nox and Numlox playing, so it was just like pretty nifty surprise when that was like introduced to. So I mean, it didn't motivate me more to like actually sign up for the season, but during the season, like in the big games, it was like, there's actually quite a bit on the line. It's like a nice extra reward in addition to winning, so it helped a little.
Like for me, it was like it wasn't like the money motivated me or my team to play or to try harder, but it was just the fact that the money kind of said to the scene like, okay, this is a season to kind of to pay attention to, and that just kind of like collectively it made all the teams kind of just a little bit more serious about it, which kind of means competition is naturally higher, and you want to try harder just because it's like the competition seems a lot more worthwhile than normal. Not necessarily because of the money; it's just the money that kind of brings all those things together.
Yeah, I suppose for people who've been at the top of Prem competing for money for prizes for a few seasons, it takes quite a big increase before it creates a change in how you approach the season. But I think I'm right in saying that for the lower divisions who were for the first time competing for money, I'm gonna have to let my dog out in a second. He's squealing, but. For these people in the lower divisions who are first time competing for money, they seem to be a lot more serious about it. I noticed a lot of teams in high were getting a lot more keen than I would have expected. Div 2, Div 1, just any other season.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, like, I agree with what you said, and like, as an outsider, like not participating in high, it seemed like a lot more of a worthwhile endeavor this season. Like, I was genuinely interested, not only in like the top two teams, like. If you look at like a Div 1 season of time gone by, you maybe like, as a Prem player, maybe you care about the top 1 or the top 2 because it's like maybe they're worth PCWing or something, so you kind of give them the time of day. But this season, I was just like, as a competition, I was like genuinely interested to see how like these teams did, like 1,000 poops, not who didn't win it in the end, and even like some of the other teams like Foreskins, like they didn't even make playoffs, but if they had a match in the regular season, I was intrigued. I would watch, like if War was streaming it, or if like I was doing nothing else, I would stream the STV and these kind of things, and that's not something I've ever really considered to be an interesting thing to do in previous seasons.
Yeah, like no one's ever really cared about like Division 1 or like anything below that, and like not even like the players in these divisions have cared as much. Like it was really last few seasons, it's like no one had any incentive to get good or go to Prem. They were just playing, like they just made mixed teams and then they followed. But like the high teams this season seemed really a lot more keen, and I watched the finals of Thai. It was quite interesting. So yeah, that helps. It seems like it had like a really big impact for the high division. I don't know about mid or whatever, but yeah.
I don't know anything about it because I didn't follow anything.
Do you think it helped with interest in Prem games, like all the Prem games? Zebo?
Well, about the high thing, like to be honest, I think all of the teams that are there are still gonna fold, just like every other season. Like the 1,000 Poops team are folding. I don't know about Sideshow's team, but that part didn't seem to make a difference. And I think what made it interesting was not money, but like the whatever it's called
The
that
Swiss
Premzilla
system.
added. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
I thought that was better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, what do you guys feel about the Swiss system then? Do you feel like looking at I mean, you're probably not the best people to ask about this actually, because it really didn't have any effect on you at all, but Did you find it that you were more interested because of it? Have you heard accounts from anybody else that they enjoyed it more than previous seasons? What do you think the general uptake of the Swiss system has been?
I think it was a success mostly. I mean, like I'm quite closely connected to FM Esports, who played mid this season. They didn't quite make playoffs, but they kind of floated around the middle, just above kind of like the middle of the pack and thereabouts for most of the season. And I got the impression they got a lot more out of this season than they would have like a previous season. Like just as an example, like last season, season 19, they played Division 4. I don't think they won the division. I think they came second or third or something like that. So in theory, like they probably would have gone back into Div 4 or maybe Div 3. But like with how it was like this season, they were like they didn't really matter. They didn't have this controversy of can they go up a div or whatever. They can just go into this big pool of teams. First couple of weeks, they can figure out where they stand, and then they can just try and over the season, like the only way is up. Basically, there's a big ladder they can climb their way up. Whereas normally, you kind of if you're one of these teams that are kind of between Div 4 and Div 3, and you end up in Div 4, you can play your first 2 games, and the season's basically over. If the fixtures fall the wrong way. Kind of you play the strongest team in week 1, say, and then you just kind of coast in the rest of the season, and it's done. You can't go anywhere else. But this season, for them at least, they could continue to progress for the whole season basically and test themselves.
Yeah, the only thing I hear are like probably subjective accounts, but some people are like, oh yeah, this team deserved to be like in the final or whatever. But they had unlucky drawings, and also like if a team. Say if like a team folded it and they already played like a certain team, they seem to have more of an impact on like before, if a team folded in a table, it didn't really matter because like no one would lose any points from it, but like obviously it matters more in the Swiss system, so that was kind of a shame.
Let's move on from talking about those loaded scrubs though, and focus on the Premiership, and specifically not even the scrubs of the Premiership. Let's have a look at the playoff structure, because it was similar to last season, or identical to last season actually. 3 teams all in one big day, and looks like that's going to be the structure from now on, I assume, Sonny, because it seems to be working pretty well. How do you guys feel about it all being on one day?
It's okay. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, Sonny asked or at least what I thought about it before we started this, and I suggested that we make it more of an event. Have the 4 teams, first place to 4th seed, blah blah. It's like a full day of games. It's still one day, and we can have that 4th team in again, and I think it would bring a bit more hype. I don't know.
You wanted a 4-team playoff, basically. That was the only difference.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be 4th place 3rd, and then moves on to play 2nd seed, like
more of a classic
yeah,
bracket.
The same as
exactly.
ESEA LAN, essentially.
Oh, so for like 4th
versus
versus 1st, and then
yeah,
2nd versus
exactly.
3rd, like ESEA. Okay.
That's the way that I would like it, but
and I think
it does normally go on over 2 days. It does normally extend to 2 days once you're doing that, especially if if you move to a double elimination bracket, which would be a big plus over the current system as well. I understand that that's to do with the limitations of the back end of ETF2L, and you can't do double elim, etc. But it would be nice if that was on the cards at some point. EMB, Sonny, whoever's in charge of that.
Well, on a small scale, like I can find a workaround, like I did for the season 19 Prem playoffs, I think, where double elimination was used, because I just put it in 2 separate competitions, one for the upper and one for the lower bracket. But that isn't really an option for bigger or for larger amounts of teams.
But we've done cups with like 8 teams in a day, so why wouldn't this be
8
possible?
teams? Thought it was.
Yeah, like
isn't it
1 day
supposed to be
cups.
4?
Yeah, 1 day cups.
Like,
Like
you
with
know,
8 teams. I
Yeah,
think
it takes a lot of, like, you need to move the teams between the competitions all the time. So even if it's only 8 team groups, like if you have 12 groups or something, you have to micromanage 24 competitions at the same time.
I think it's a bit more complicated than a 1 day cup anyway, because like a 1 day cup, it's a 1 day cup, whereas these playoffs, they're the culmination of 2-3 months worth of like input from teams and admins and things. Like the 1 day cups, you do a lot of like the ones to get around the fact it's all in 1 day. I don't think best of ones is going to be very fulfilling for
No,
like because
obviously
it's literally you know you've played 7 week season to get there, and it all to, potentially all to be over in one map is a bit harsh. I don't really see a way of fitting it in one day if you have to have best of threes the whole way.
I just like it to be more of a like an event sort of thing instead of like it is really now second place, third, then it's the finals, and
Yeah,
it's
it
pretty
does
much
feel
over.
a bit. For me, it felt like I've no complaints. Like I had a really great time playing the semi-final and stuff, and by no means am I putting this as like a reason why we lost or anything. But as like a participant, it does feel a bit strange. Kind of, you know, you're starting at 19, don't get a warm up, proper warm up anyway, because it's just not feasible, and you go into like a make or break game, and you either win it or lose it, and after that it's over. And it's kind of like feel a bit out of your element, if you know what I mean. Like play, win, and if you lose, you're out. But you didn't get warmed up stuff. Like the first map can come down to warm ups in theory, like it didn't, but it does feel like a little bit strange at the moment. It feels not necessarily. I don't know. It feels a bit weird, basically. I don't really know how to say it. It's not that bad, but it's just a bit strange.
You would have the same problem though if you made it like an event over, I don't know, like if it's double elimination, you have how many games?
Yeah, but in a double elimination setting, the warm-up factor doesn't come in at all, because if you lose your first game against some scrub team, which you shouldn't be even without a scrim, then you've still got a second chance to win your way through the lower bracket.
If it's first versus fourth, okay, but second versus third should be closer.
Yeah, but
yeah,
then
true, but
they
then they'll
still
be playing
have a
against the
chance.
fourth team in the lower bracket if they mess up, you know. So they've still got. Then they're then warmed up, so they should be then played to potential. And if they suck out, then it's it's their fault. But I do think that would be an improvement. But I don't know whether it's people before the previous 2 seasons were saying, is it feasible to try and get all of these 3 teams all available on one day? To have them available on 2 consecutive days would be even more of a stretch, I think. I don't know whether 4 teams on 2 consecutive days, like ESEA LAN style, if it's a LAN, you can plan ahead, you can... It's more of a priority in your life, you're going to be flying out somewhere, you're going to be physically there, whereas, if you've got work on or something and you're just going to be sat at your PC playing, like a 2-day event, it feels like less of a priority.
Yeah, it's also, I think it was like awkward enough, like trying to. I was surprised like it went so smoothly. The final, like 3 teams all having to play just on that one day. Anyone could have been away, but having to get like 4 teams together over 2 days is bound. Like there has to be mercs somewhere and stuff. So,
like for this season, it was kind of a bit easier because this season was like I know it wasn't like the biggest thing that ever happened, but it was like, I don't know, for me at least playing it did feel like this is not just the average season, it's like an above average season. So to get just for the one day, the 3 teams, it felt like it was always going to be pretty smooth because, the season just felt a bit more like, had a bit more behind it and people gave it a bit more priority. But to expect it to go so smooth, like if you add an extra day and an extra team, to expect it to go so smooth on a regular basis felt like a generic run-of-the-mill season where maybe one of the teams in playoffs doesn't really give a fuck. They just ended up there because they were better than the other teams that didn't give a fuck. It could be a bit more complicated. It's a tough one.
Yeah, but I don't think that anybody really had particular complaints about the playoff system this season. It was
Captain
good.
actually missed his mum's birthday for it. So,
did he? Oh god, that's dedication. Wow, phenomenal stuff. So yeah, it is a great system we have currently. But Kaidus, why don't you give us a short lowdown of what happened in the semi-final against Zebbosai, and then we'll get them to talk about the final as well, just very briefly, so that people know what's going on before we move on to the awards.
Played a pretty close game. Went to 3 maps, 2 golden caps. It was really, really fun to be a part of. It's the most enjoyable online game I can remember playing in, to be honest. Well, the most enjoyable online loss, at least. As far as losses go, it was pretty enjoyable. I came out with like only positive feelings despite getting knocked out.
Yeah, it was phenomenal to watch as well. The semi was it was better to watch than, I'm not gonna lie, it was better to watch than the final, just because the final was a bit of a roll, but the semi definitely made up for it. It was super good. If you haven't caught it, if you didn't catch it on the night on Twitch, anybody watching, go over to YouTube. It's on the Team Fortress TV channel. It's definitely worth a watch. It was a brilliant 3 maps and 2 golden caps, as Kaidus says. And then Zebo, what was the final like? So you'd won your way through the semi-finals. You got your chance to play against Mike and the rest of his posse. Mike +5.
Well, it's a bit weird this final for me, because usually I care a lot when I play a Deem class, like I try to warm up and shit, but now I'm a medic, or I was a medic at that time. So like I just showed up and played, I didn't warm up. It didn't feel that special, but in the final, of course, we were outclassed on every way we could, I guess.
What were the scores there? So it went down in 2 maps Suave's way. Suave were playing pretty strong. And what was the final score line?
7-2, 5-2.
Tattooed on his arm.
And before we dive into the awards as well, SonnyBlack and his panel of admins have decreed that Mike's already won 2 of them for some who knows
I'll take
reason.
it.
Yeah, Mike's not
I'm
complaining.
not gonna say no.
The rest of the people might be. SonnyBlack, what's your reasoning behind that? Why have you just gifted this Welsh scrub some like fancy medals? He's already got enough, hasn't he?
Because he was basically, apart from like 2 or 3 exceptions, the only one being named or being nominated as Roma and as best player. He got for Roma he got over 88% of all nominations, and for best player he got over 75%.
I think it's the
Can
right
you-
decision.
Yeah, I think so as well. But
You're just trolling then.
yeah, I'm just,
Where the hell is Admirable going here?
just trying to stir up some drama. Who were the people who sucked out then? Who were the people who got nominated for Roma and player but not enough?
For Roma, also people also got nominations were Zoop and T-Mac. And for best player we
What?
had
Stark don't
Nope.
get anything.
nope.
Like,
Romer.
I was
Get
thinking
obliterated.
Stark was like the only one probably who in his own way deserved some like nomination in a way on Roma. Like he was no Mike at all this season. Like it's totally justified to go to Mike, but Stark also I think watching.
Why
Like
didn't
watching-
you nominate him then?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
Stark helped BK quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't nominate him because Mike was head and
because
shoulders
Mike,
above the
yeah.
rest. But I mean, if anyone else was gonna get nominated, I would have probably picked Stark just because he brought something to BK that probably Mike didn't bring to Suave. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there, but like for
Yeah,
my,
no, like when I watch like some of the matches of BK and then you'd go to the comms and Stark would actually have quite a big input sometimes on like pushes, even though he's Roma. So like that looked like a big help.
Let's ask the man himself, Zebbosai. How much do you think Stark added to the team?
Well, we got the exact same result with Stark that we had without him. We had a lot less fun with Stark on the lineup.
In fact, you did.
Ayo
you did
kill all over again.
yeah, he's a toxic, cancerous player. That's there's nothing more you can say. You actually did worse, didn't you? You got 3 maps against, or you went to 3 maps in the
but
final.
The teams were a lot weaker last season, obviously. No, like Stark is good as roamer. I don't think he fit our style at all, though. But he's obviously good, and he contributes a lot with the comms and stuff like that. But he didn't fit our style, really.
maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like
There you go.
when you had Knudsen, it seemed like it helped give you an extra kind of boost because it looked like you kind of all lost faith in Knudsen's like calls and stuff. You kind of just ignored him or shouting over everyone because no one was really giving a fuck. And then when you kind of got Stark, it's like just from the odd excerpts I hear from watching VODs with team comms because that's really the only insight I get. But it looked like he kind of gave you a boost there. But then when you went to medic and was actually giving a proper structure to the combo for main calling, it looked like his influence kind of was less required and less helpful.
Yeah, but as I said, like I couldn't play Scout the way I used to play Scout with Stark, and P couldn't play the way he used to play. So like we could have adapted to Stark better. We didn't, but I don't think he fitted the team very
Yeah.
well. But of course, his comms, we wouldn't have gotten anything like that from Sapis, obviously.
You shouldn't have folded, and you should have just brought Knudsen back on Roma.
No, Stark is a very good roamer. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying perhaps he didn't fit into our team.
Yeah, like Zappis is like a fun person to play with as well. So
Yeah, and he is very like unselfish in games. So I could be my big ego Zebbosai going in, and he just cover up.
I don't know,
Whereas Stark has a big ego.
Did Stark
No.
like mention whenever you did something like
Yeah.
that didn't work?
Yeah, and then I said, fuck this class. So I tried Solly, it didn't work, went medic.
To me, it looked like early in the season when you had Zappis. Like, I didn't play you last season, obviously I wasn't there, but it looked like you kind of, you did good in the playoffs at the end of last season, and you were kind of rolling on that high for a little bit. It kind of looked like just the period before Zappis left, it looked like you were treading water, and I was kind of genuinely concerned for you. And it really looked to me like Stark kind of steadied the ship, even if you didn't have fun. At least, like, performance-wise, it seemed like he kind of
Yeah, but towards
stabilized things a bit, if you know what I mean.
towards the end, Suppis were so demotivated. Like he
Yeah, that's
isn't
true.
a very strong roamer, like, and when he didn't play at all, it didn't really help. And of course, like when Stark came in, it was a boost to begin with. But then we kind of got we didn't play the same style at all, and we made this team just off class and have fun. I wanted to just rush in. I didn't want to care, and that all changed when we had like Stark and serious gamers on the team.
That's great.
It sounds like
That's so
really,
great.
you've really picked a scapegoat here, Zebbosai, to
Everything's
unload all
fine
of your
until
problems
Stark
on.
joined.
Like Stark is a way better roamer than Suppis. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't the same team with Stark on it.
Okay, so we've dwelt on this for quite a while, and we haven't even started on the actual awards that people didn't just get dished out for absolutely free here. So we're also joined by Admirable as well, who has been just AWOL and has decided just to slink in and trying to get away with it. Hello, James. Are you there?
Hello? Why are you talking to me over like a fucking tannoy system or something? What is this ghetto microphone setup you got?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm at my home and everyone's in bed, so I'm on a laptop that I think was made in the 20th century. And it's not got the best microphone in the world.
I'm trying to log into Steam for some banter, but it seems to be down right now. But what's happened so far? How long have you been live, Sideshow?
We've been live about half an hour, something like that, and we haven't even started with the awards. We were just talking about season 20, essentially, so far. The playoffs, things like that. We're about to get started with the awards, Admirable. If you want to take over, because my microphone's a piece of shit, and you can rattle through those awards in the timely manner that you normally do them, and I'll take a 3-hour nap, and when I wake up, you'll still be doing Medic of the Season.
Yeah, so SonnyBlack, have you got the list? You're going to share that? The secret SonnyBlack spreadsheet of awards?
Or you wanna have that?
Nah, well, alright then. You tell,
I
you just,
I can share it.
let's put it out to the chat then. We'll ask the chat, which award would they like to hear the results of first? We're obviously not going to do player of the season or whatever, or I guess Mike won that for fuck's sake. We'll usually save it to last, but we'll wait for the Twitch delay to kick in. We'll see who wants to hear which award first, and we'll go for that one. What's happening right now with the Gamers Assembly finals? That's still going?
Shocker winning Sunshine.
eShock are winning, and for some reason this is pretty much the only game that you haven't been able to bet on Saloon.tf, and I wanted to bet on eShock, and there you go.
Yeah, okay.
I bet on eShock previously. They let me. My boys are gonna let me down in the upper bracket final. Then they're
So
gonna
you
come through in the grand final and give me a fuck ton of refined metal. But no, Cherry just decides that I'm not allowed.
Well, to be
Damn.
fair, like he doesn't void them. Like he voids them if the odds are like so stacked that there's no point. Like the winners don't get any gain, and I don't think anyone like the odds were not that great first game, and after eShot got absolutely fucked, I don't think there was going to be like enough votes, so enough bets to actually make it like justifiable.
It would have been 99-1, and I would have walked away like omnipotent teapot when he put 3 keys on whoever that scrub team was, and just wandered away with like 1 billion keys. He's now the richest man in TF2.
Anyway, I think the chat wants to see best caster of the season.
We should save
Yeah.
that though.
Sideshow.
Has there been an upset, SonnyBlack? Have I been dethroned? Let's tell us the nominees then. Let's go and see what everyone voted for first before you
I'm
announce
so
the results.
salty.
Alright.
Who were the nominees, SonnyBlack?
Nominated was everyone, I think, that casted more than 2 games. So
Okay.
we had Admirable, CommanderX, Sideshow, Tarash, Ryoshi, TurboTaps, Mana, Marilyn, and kaidus.
I will tell you. I'll take the lead here. I voted for kaidus. CommanderX and Sideshow, they're pretty good too, but I think kaidus is the guy to me anyway that is really engaging, or he's got this next level insight to the game. So he's the caster I want to be more like. But who did you vote for, Sideshow?
Me, I voted for kaidus. I did last season as well. I think that I would also vote for either Stark or Mike if they casted a bit more, because
Anyone
I really
but
value.
Admirable, is that what you're saying?
No, I really value the high level Prem players when they cast, because I feel like they add so much more that other people can't. Like you can get as good as you like at casting and talking about what's going on. Your play by play can be incredible, but there's always that bit of insight that's missing, and I really value that from casters, and kaidus manages to pick it up fairly well. I don't want to inflate his ego, but yeah, I voted for him as well.
Yeah, that's something that's always in short supply. So I would appeal to any Prem or high players out there who think they have got insight, like on Kaya, the master of strats. I wanted him to cast this season, but he left me hanging. But people like Mike and Stark stepping in, even Thalash coming in, cast a big 6 games or 6 maps this season, and he really took to it like a duck to water. So if it wasn't for kaidus, I might have even voted for Thalash. Definitely not Sideshow. But kaidus, who did you vote for then? We're all talking about you.
I think I voted for you actually. I'm struggling to remember. I think I voted for you, James, and my reasoning was fuck Sideshow. It's just kind of like a gut thing, like when I'm gonna watch a game, when I'm not playing and I'm not part of the production or anything, and I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy TF2. Like your name is the name I look for. I have the best time watching it, so I just went with that.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Heartwarming.
Heartbreaking.
Zebbosai, who did you vote for?
I voted for you, because I always.
Yeah.
Well, you have the Prem insight too. I think you played Prem just last season, so you had the insight and the play-by-play. Best from both worlds.
Mikey, who was your vote?
You too. I don't know. You can get any Prem play to cast. I think kaidus is a really good analyst type caster, but there's no one. There's no one who has a good enough voice or hype inducing abilities as you. So yeah.
Actually, you know who I'm thinking of, who cast a lot of games as well this season, talking about Prem players? Merlin. And I don't know, I think he's actually really good. He's obviously Merlin and he's brain damaged or something at the same time, but he's got great insight into the game, brings incredible hype, and people love his jokes, his wonky English. So I'd like to give him a special shout out too. SonnyBlack, yeah. Tell me that Merlin won, please. Drum roll, please.
Should I start at the bottom?
Oh yeah. Turbo Tabs needs to know if he got over 1%.
It's 2%, isn't it? Was that not 2%. What he got last time?
Apparently it's 1.7% he got last. I could look it up, but yeah. If he says so, I guess he's right. Yeah, Turbo Tabs didn't get last place though. Last place goes to Mana with 1.1% of the votes.
Get fucked, America!
But he's actually pretty good though, I think.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
he's really natural.
Well, he only casted 3 matches? I don't know.
I only remember him casting one game and I forgot about it even.
Yeah, and I guess he's not as well known a name, and it's it's often just comes down to that.
It's a popularity contest.
8th place goes to Turbo Tabs with 1.2%.
Oh, rest in peace, Turbo Tabs' dreams. I feel so bad.
No improvement.
It's actually, it's actually worse. He's getting.
We're gonna have to do a performance review, Sideshow. Me and you'll interview Turbo Tabs and discuss his progress.
Decide whether he needs to be dropped from the program.
Sorry, Sonny.
7th place goes to Ryoshi with 1.8%. 6th place goes to Talash with 3.7%. 5th place goes to CommanderX with 6.9%. 4th place goes to kaidus with 8.7%.
So mine is top 3 now then.
And
Third
War as
place
well. You haven't
goes
said
to-
War yet.
Ward didn't cast enough matches.
Oh,
I
did he
think.
not?
He cast
He
2.
casted quite a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, did he
It
only
was
cast
more
2?
than
Right,
2.
okay.
Did he not get nominated? Oh, no.
No, you need 3 matches casted.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 2 earlier.
More than 2. Okay, good. 3rd place goes to Maryland with 11.3%.
He deserves a bit more.
And 2nd place goes to Sideshow with 28.1%.
Yes!
And Admirable
Jeez.
wins with 37.2% once again.
I'd just like to thank
That's
my
a lot
mom,
worse.
my dad, Jesus.
I think
Very
that's
poignant on Easter.
Admirable's 6th caster award. The only time it didn't win was when Pledge won, I think.
That was the time that Pledge cast all the games. I had to give him that one. Thanks again, community. I appreciate it. It's almost too easy right now. Is there not going to be some good caster that's going to step up and challenge me? I know how Mike feels here, you know, winning all these awards, winning all these seasons, except not actually being good at the game. Come on, step it up, Europe. Who's going to challenge me? Turbo Tabs, I'm looking
We
at
need
you.
to bring back Pledge.
Okay. Let's move on then. I appreciate it. I don't have a speech prepared. What's the next award we want to hear then, guys? Caster of the season is out of here. Did you say, Sonny, no roamer and no best player award?
Yes.
Okay. So that
How
gives
about
us a
the other
choice.
soldier then? The other soldier, the Pocket Award.
The
Pocket.
Tech Award.
Can I interject really briefly just to say that eShock have won Gamers Assembly?
Whoa!
Oh dear.
Why
I,
was I not allowed to bet? Cherry, what the
Sonny
I
Black,
would
is
be
it true?
so rich!
Is it true that if a bod wins an offline event, he automatically gets unbanned from ETF2L? As that proves his innocence?
I don't think that's a policy.
What if he were to pay you his prize money? It's like, what was it, like at least €1,000, 2,000 for first?
I don't think he gets 2,000 euros just for himself.
Would you accept the bribe from eShock, Sonny?
Yeah, for the grade of the community to put it into the season 21 prize pool. Obviously.
Alright, I'm looking at chat as well, and people are echoing your sentiments. They want to hear the Pocket Award. So, SonnyBlack, remind us who the nominees were, who got voted for.
Should I also mention who
Yeah.
didn't make it into the? Okay, so
Yeah, man, tell us everything.
everyone that was nominated or included AMS, Feeling, and Captain, but those didn't get enough nominations. So only Shadowburn, Nox, and Tech made it into the polls.
What
Wait,
was
so
the...
Nox got in over Captain?
Yeah?
I don't understand how that happened. Captain's played so well.
Captain only got 2 nominations.
He needs
One
to
was
work
from
on
me.
his PR, you know, his brand. Nox has got an award named after him. What's Captain got? So, alright, that's... or Sonny, can you tell me what the percentage of the votes from the Prem players was then? Like the nominations?
AMS got 2.9%, Feeling got 2.9%, Captain got 5.7%, Shadowburn got 11.4%, Nox got 14.3%, and Tech got 62.9%.
Holy shit. Alright then, I actually voted for Nox, and this is probably a debate we have every award show. It's like Nox contributes a lot more to his team than just his ability to play soldier, but is this just strictly an award for who can hit the most air shots or do the most damage? But yeah, I vote at Nox. You know, he's still the best. He's the master of the Uber trades, and he really seems to set the team up around himself. Obviously, he's got Mike to carry him there, and Sam to pick up the pieces. But I was torn after like once you vote, you get like voter's guilt. It's like, oh, I should have voted for Tech. What was I thinking? But I'd like to hear your thoughts, Kaidus.
I nominated and voted for Tech. I think he was the most impressive pocket this season. Like watching Tech and Mike this season, it made me genuinely like consider what could have happened to I-52 if they'd been on the opposite roles. Just as like an interesting thought. But yeah, I don't know about the Nox thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like Captain probably should have been in there. I didn't nominate him just because I make it like I never nominate people for my own team because my view is just so biased on all of them. Like I'd nominate all of them for my own reasons if I did that. I think I don't know. Like I feel like all of the people that wanted to nominate or vote for someone putting out just a really solid like mechanical pocket performance, they nominated Tech because he was probably the best this season. And then Nox kind of gets the votes from people who look at it from a different perspective. So like Captain doesn't get nominated because he's being compared to Tech, whereas Nox is sitting in his own category, and the people that the qualities of that category appeals to certain people, and so they're nominating Nox. But for me, like the job Tech did, just as like an aim soldier, like as the center of a combo, it was more impressive to me than what Nox did this season.
Zebbosai, you played a lot of pocket in your time. Who was your vote and why?
I nominated Captain because I thought it was the second best, and I forgot about Tech. But then when I saw that Tech was in the votes, I obviously voted Tech. And why? Because he was the best pocket. Like, was not much to it.
What is it that characterizes a good pocket in your mind? Are you talking about stats here, like who hit the most impressive shots or got the most frags, etc.? What is in your mind?
When it's Tech, like it was this season, his DM is just so much better than every other pocket, so it doesn't really matter if he plays the game like worse or better than the other pockets, because he still wins, because he has so good DM.
Yeah, like I remember casting a lot of the Tech games, or maybe seeing them afterwards, but there were there were moments, just like strings
Admirable,
of
watch
frags.
out, it's the car.
A car?
Oh wait, no, whoa, where's the car noise coming from? I thought that was your microphone. Where's the car noise coming from? Something started playing.
Oh my god!
Something started playing sound effects on my PC, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, car's coming from you, man.
Yeah, look behind you.
Maybe I'm about to be run over. I heard like it sounded like you were on the motorway, but I don't know what the noise is now. I think it's someone whispering to. I don't know where this is coming from. All right,
You've had a stroke, mate.
I've only just joined. How high is Sideshow right now?
Whoa!
I
What's
don't
going
know.
on?
Like, what?
It's CX. That's
Why
what it
no,
is.
it's not. It's not. It's definitely from you. CX's mic is messed up as well.
I hear nothing, man. I hear nothing. Anyway,
Is this better now?
Yeah,
Much better.
Cool.
It was definitely CX.
Tech did have some
I did just drive in.
lots of ridiculous moments this season, like where he was just hitting crazy shots live on stream, but I don't know, I feel like Pocket's more than that. It's about decision making and stuff as well. And that's why I give it to Nox. But Mikey, the best soldier in the world, who do you think was the best Pocket?
I nominated Tech and I voted for Tech because like he was really, really good, as everyone else said, and he was the only soldier I like struggled against like this season. Like as a roamer, on Viaduct it was really hard when we played them. Like when we played Reason, I didn't feel like Captain had anything on me, and when we played BK, AMS just like didn't do shit. So
What?
well, like on
Shit.
Sunshine he did fuck all, and
No,
then
I-
the
What
other maps we
specifically
played,
is that though? Because like I would say, in terms of deathmatch, how reliably these players can hit shots, there's probably not much between them, Mike. But you're saying like you don't even consider them a threat. Is it just how they play, like the positions they take up, or what?
Well, Tech's DM was really sick. I feel like part of it is because we played like so much MG together. He kind of knows like my movement and everything, but like he's not just like as like typical pocket soldier. Like he is quite flexible. Like he, as you know, he's played roaming quite a bit, but just like when I watched AMS and Captain in their other games, they seemed like pretty good. But I'm just saying, when I played versus them in the officials, they didn't show up. So that's what like influenced it for me, like swung it. But I was gonna say, like, I think for Nox, I nominated him for best player of the season, like just because his pocketing isn't the best, but like the decision making and main calling ability with that makes him, for me, the best player. But like I don't think it makes him the best pocket.
CommanderX, you joined the party late. Who did you nominate for best pocket?
I wasn't
Or
asked.
vote for? Vote for. I wasn't asked either.
I voted for Tech. Much of the same reasons everyone else was saying. You know, like I know some people have like don't like the way Tech plays, like thinks he kind of baits out his team to a large degree. But I think that's the way SonnyBlack want to play. I think that's how they like to play, and Tech is just like the perfect soldier to fit in that role and get the cleanup.
Yeah, just to build on that, like just a bit more like insight from my perspective, like playing against Nox versus playing against Tech, like playing against Nox, you kind of like you know what he's gonna do roughly. Like if it's say like a process mid, you know he's basically gonna, when Mike comes back for some heals or something like this, you know Nox is gonna like jump in and make space, and kind of everything he's doing there is kind of dependent on how well his team is performing around him. Like his distraction, like what can the scouts do, what can Numlock do, and what can Mike do while he's like being fragged and being this distraction. Whereas playing against Tech, you can know what he's going to do, but it doesn't matter if you know what he's going to do, because unless your team completely outplays their team, he's just going to fuck you. If you give him like, you give him an inch, he's going to fuck you like a foot long. You know what I mean? Like, individually, like, you can read both players individually what they're going to do and how they're going to play the game, but just countering how Tech is playing the game is just harder. Like with Nox, you have to worry about his team. He's just fitting in. He's just fitting into a system that he performs this role well. But the requirement, like the skill requirement to perform this role for Nox is just much less, I feel, than what Tech has to do.
Yeah, that's true. Like what
Is
Nox
that not
is
part
doing.
of the problem for Insomniac? It's like Tech. There's too much of a reliance on Tech. I know we're talking about this pocket award, but is that not maybe one of Insomniac's downfalls, that they rely on Tech too much?
I didn't feel like he was like baiting his team that hard, but I just feel like the rest of his team just on his like level, really. Like Texas a step above all the rest of them.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that. Sideshow, are you still being chased by a car?
No, thankfully I've managed to elude the car.
You're gonna
Everything
move
smells
again.
of burnt toast though, and the side of my face is drooping. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Means
you're
it's
on the
toast.
script.
We all know what it means. You should know what it means, actually.
Tell us then, Dr. Josh Wilkinson, who did you vote for?
I voted for Tech because I think he's a great pocket, and just in terms of if you wanted a pocket to play for your team, or if you had to select like a super team or something, and you were just looking for a pocket, I kind of ignored what Nox brings to the team in terms of calls, because I felt like that wasn't really relevant to this award.
Yeah.
It was kind of, it's the pocket. It's not the best player of the season. It's not best caller or team leader or whatever you want to call it. It's purely pocket, and so that was where my justification for voting for Tech came from. But I think I would have strongly considered voting for Captain if he was nominated enough as well.
I think the thing with Captain to keep in mind is like he's kind of playing. I feel like Tech is a bit more central to his team. Like what Tech wants to do is kind of what they're going to do most of the time. Whereas with Captain, kind of has to like. I'm not saying like I base the team around myself or anything, but at the end of the day, like Captain is playing with a demo that main calls, which means ultimately, you know, he has to kind of try and fit. Even though I'm trying to like call in a way that suits my team, you know, at the end of the day, if I'm making a snap decision, Captain's the one having to kind of react to the snap decision that I make. So it kind of puts him at a little bit like he has a bit more kind of to do, if you know what I mean. He doesn't just have this automatic sway.
Is it Captain's first season at Prem also?
It's his second, I think.
Oh, okay.
He played with Flushy's team.
Oh yeah,
Planet Express last season, yeah.
He won Prem
Up and
debut
coming.
last season, didn't he?
Yeah,
Good
was he
time.
not?
You tell us, Sonny. You're the admin.
A
I'm
few
pretty sure
seasons
he
ago as
did.
well, was he not nominated for like up and coming player as well, or maybe even
Two
more?
seasons? No. He
No, a
won
few,
last
like-
season.
Yeah, but like seasons before that, he was already on people's radar like 2 or 3 ago.
Is
have
this captain?
been
Sorry, are we still
Prem.
talking about him?
Yeah, captain before he got into
Yeah, he
Prem,
played
when
for
he was.
Solar a while back, and that's when he first came on people's radar, I think. When they played in Div 1 or something. He was playing with Vanilla, and I can't even remember who else was in that team.
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't think
captain
he was.
He definitely did. Captain
Hicks,
played
it
for
was
that
always
team.
Hicks and QNX and Solar, like
it was
always.
definitely captain. Captain
He
was
played
on
don't
that
with
think
roster.
Face. That was Face, not Solar.
It was definitely.
I'm pretty
it
sure
was
it definitely
definitely
was.
Season
Solar.
8,
Fight,
Captain never
Looking at
played.
it.
I'm putting my hat in the Sideshow is wrong.
I'm going to his ETF2L profile.
Well,
and,
I'm
gonna
already
look
on
at his team history.
It's definitely.
In
there's
season
definitely
18,
Solar.
he played for FaZe.
I never said season 18, but he
Oh,
definitely
he was
did
in
play
Solar,
for.
but it was like 3 fucking years ago.
Oh,
Or was it like so long ago?
I'm really glad
Okay.
you referenced
Like
that
in Division
two-year-old
2
team.
and no wait, that was FaZe. I'm talking shit.
everybody's right. It's okay. Let's agree to disagree. SonnyBlack, tell us who you voted for.
For best pocket.
I'm interested.
Yeah, I voted for Nox.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. You vote for your own players, Suave manager.
No, like he was. I don't know. He was playing good, and I've been in Mumble with him sometimes when they PCW'd, so I could.
Do your votes count
witness
as
his
one, or
calling
like, you
in
know,
the tea.
100, or how does it work, SonnyBlack?
Super
With special admin powers.
Yeah.
What?
I just think all that is more relevant to best player of the season, not Pocket.
Look, Mike.
You're wrong, okay.
It's alright, Sonny. Give us the results then. From first or last to first. Go for it.
Third place is Nox with 17.9%.
Boo.
Second place is Shadowburn with 28.6%, and Tech wins with 53.5%. It's his third award, and he won Roma, Pocket, and Off-Classer of the season now, like in several seasons.
We didn't really talk about Shadowburn at all.
Yeah.
Shadowburn's the
So no
best
one
one.
voted for Shadowburn and no one nominated Shadowburn here.
I think Tech's
No.
better, but I think like Shadowburn's just in the wrong team to stand out in the same way that Nox and Tech will.
Or maybe
He
that's
was,
the reason.
Possibly running the wrong loadout as well.
He was changing the
Even
game,
Captain
man.
is
Black
better
box
than-
conch.
Isn't he? I think Captain is way better than Shadowburn too. Like,
think
Shadowburn
so.
shouldn't even be there.
I think Shadowburn stands out in his team because he takes 99% of the heals, runs black box and conch, never dies, and then comes back in with a mini
Invincible.
Uber.
Yeah, but he only has
It's like-
3 rockets, and one of them's always an
Yeah.
airshot, man.
Yeah, and then the rest of his team can't do much because of it. Like, I think he's a good player, but he needs to be on a more structured, non-Russian team to really hit the top of his game.
There's one way to settle this. MGEMike, you know, who of all these players ever beats you in MGE? Or who beats you the most frequently, if ever?
Tech. Well, it's justified.
Then, you know, who's
There we go.
after that? You know, rank them down for us.
How many times has Nox
The really
beaten you?
awkward part is that Sideshow has beaten me like 8 or 9 times, but that's only because we played like 500 times.
Whoa. Let's not be skewing this with statistics.
492 to 8 is a pretty good score though, Sideshow. Like,
Alright, so we've got Tech at the top, Sideshow second. Does Shadowburn come in there
has-
somewhere?
Yeah, Shadowburn has beaten me like twice or something.
Or something. He pretends he doesn't know. He's got this little page in his jotter where he writes it down.
if he turns his
black
camera
book.
around on the other side of a wall and there's just a list and a tally next to everyone's names.
His face
Little
is...
sad faces beside each loss.
And then like there's dots stuck in them.
Alright, let's jump ahead then. We're gonna go to the Scout of the Season. Let's do it. SonnyBlack, tell me the nominees.
Flip got 2.9%, Forsaken got 2.9%, Walters got 5.7%, Herpy got 8.6%, Xorex got 11.4%, and the ones who made it into the ball were Nico with 14.3%, Zebbosai with 17.1%, Samzi with 37.1%.
Okay. Sure I voted for Sam, you know, because I'm totally biased. But I think he has, you know, solidified himself as the quintessential pocket scout, and he was a very consistent performer. I think he takes it really serious as well. I remember like the last Suave game of the main season he was at against Insomniac. He like had a bad game on Viaduct, I think, or he thought he did at least, and he was talking himself down on the interview afterwards. But yeah, he's like a really dedicated player. I think he would be a worthy winner, but I gotta ask, CommanderX, who did you vote for and why?
I voted for Sam as well. Like it was between Sam and Zebo for me, but with Zebo, like, it's always a bit harder, you know, like when someone changes classes halfway through the season, can you really say Zebo was a better scout when he played like only 6-7 games and didn't play the playoffs, is it? Compared to Sam, who played every single game and performed well in every single game and just had that overall consistency. And at the end, I just really voted for the higher level of consistency.
Yeah, that's an interesting little discussion then between Zebo and Sam, because Zebo is definitely the more exciting scout to watch. He's been this sort of breath of fresh air last season, this season, until he changed to Medic. Kaidus, your thoughts on what makes a good scout? Is it fair to compare Sam and Zebbosai when they're like so different?
Well, you have to compare them because that's the whole point of these awards. But I mean, like,
should we have two categories? You know, like pocket scouts and.
I don't think you should, because that tells teams you have to have this scout set up, and some teams don't. You know, some teams don't have this dedicated like aggro scout. But like, it's all about kind of who did the best. Like, I don't know. For me, I nominated Sam. I voted for Sam. Like, I had the same dilemma last season, basically, pretty much the exact same dilemma last season. Difference this time is Zebbosai didn't play scout the whole season. Didn't play scout in playoffs, which is quite important, I think, if you're comparing. You're going to compare it this way, because essentially Sam had to perform on scout in the biggest games of the season, whereas for Zebo he had to perform on medic in the biggest games of the season. So that just gives the fact Sam, like if Sam had failed and been terrible, then maybe you could look at this comparison a bit more, you know, directly. But the fact that that happened just kind of gives it to Sam for me. I actually find the Zebo Nico comparison to be far more of an interesting one, to be honest. I won't get into that now just because of the question you asked me, but yeah, like I gave this one to Sam. Like super consistent, like all season was like the perfect. You couldn't change Sam in that team. Like, you could put any scout in his position that's actively playing at the moment, like, arguably ones with, like, higher skill or whatever, and they wouldn't do as good a job as Sam did this season, so he takes it this time for me.
Nico's a LAN champion now. He's just won Gamers Assembly, so there you go. I don't think he'll be. Oh yeah, of course. Spoiler alert, but it was going on Teamfortress.tv too.
I also
20 minutes ago.
Earlier, so.
It was when the VODs go up though, the game was absolutely fucking insane. Like so many huge plays from like Nico, Board, Droso, everyone, constantly, basically Tech, everyone. It was insane to watch.
Droso's a LAN champion now as well. That sort of
it's
takes
big
the
money
shine
as
off
well,
Nico's
you know,
credentials.
like, it's like 2,500, almost 3,000 euros first place one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
On a side note, yeah.
Zebbosai, tell us about who's the best scout in Europe. Who'd you vote for? Why?
I nominated Sam, but I voted for myself.
Yeah, nice.
Big ego and all that. But I played 10 maps as scout, he played 16. So there's not a huge difference, but of course he played the more important games. So, but I nominated him, but my big ego voted for myself. It's not the only award.
Because you
No shame
cannot
in it, man.
nominate yourself.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
What?
You can't nominate yourself. But yeah, so talk to us a little bit then about Nico Zebbosai. You know, is he a scout that plays similar to you, or what about say Sorex. There were some big damaging scouts coming out this season. Some DM queens. How do you feel you stack up against those guys, or are you just in a class of your own?
No, I think Nico can like DM on my, and like Sam is on the same level as me and Nico, I'd say on DM, but just that Sam doesn't use it in the same way. But even though people call me stupid in game, I think I play smarter than like say Nico, so I'd still put myself above him.
I was going to say like earlier when I was kind of touching on that, like you play like like to the naked eye, you play a similar way. You know, you're always kind of in seemingly random situations, getting random frags. But I always feel like when I'm watching you, there's something quite calculated about it. Like it might look random and stupid, but I think when I watch you, I know kind of you're reading the person you're trying to frag. Like you're thinking like, what are they doing? What do they think I'm going to do? And then kind of doing the opposite of this. Whereas I feel like Nico at the moment, he hasn't developed his game to this level yet. Like his skill is completely on par, and in some areas, arguably better. But I always feel like when he's getting these random frags, most of the time, or a lot of the time, they are just legit. Like he's found someone and he's out DM'd them in that situation. Whereas I watch you, it seems like you intended this to happen, and you intended to find this person in this position and then to outskill them.
Yeah, I hope people get that.
It's too late now, buddy. CommanderX, you told me you voted for Sam. Who haven't we asked yet? I'm losing track.
Mike.
I'm losing my mind. Mike, yeah, that
Sideshow.
guy.
What?
Mike and Sideshow. Tell us about your thoughts on the Scout Award. Who did you vote for? Why? Any thoughts about the Scouts in the Prem at the minute? You know, just you don't have to stick to the script. Unload.
I can't remember who I nominated, but I voted for Samzi. But like, I kind of like forgot about Zebbosai playing Scout until I saw him in the the list. Maybe just I don't pay enough attention, but like yeah, Zebbosai is like was really good like this season, and I don't think he played like retardedly. Like when I played against Nico, we only played them twice in PCWs because the second time we played them, they got mad at because we didn't want to play two of their maps, and then they all off-classed and then just left. So we never PCW them again. But like Nico got a lot of frags and a lot of damage, but I noticed he'd always just be like the last guy like alive on his team, and he'd like just clean it up that way. And it was just like he baited his whole team for all his frags, and like I'm not a fan of that playstyle. But then Zebo was like always in first, and like he'd always get like at least a frag going in. So I had a lot of respect for that. But like yeah, Zebbosai and Samsi's playstyles are just completely different. But I don't know. It's hard to tell because I haven't played against Samsi's deathmatch in a while. But like I was really like not afraid. I was always like kept in my mind like Zebbosai's deathmatch, and I'd always be extra cautious for when Zebbosai was around. So even though I voted for Samsi, I think I was a little biased and I kind of forgot about Zebbosai. But like Zebbosai was really good, but I still voted for Samsi because he's my team.
I think I agree with what you're saying about Nico. Like something I've always maintained that eShock do seem to play that way. I'm not sure if it's their actual strategy, but a lot of their engagements and plays break down into the situation where Nico's the last man alive with Izzy, or one of the last people alive. He's sort of like the Nox of scouts. He doesn't really put himself in any danger. Like Zebbosai makes it hard for himself when he's playing scout, or appears to, like by taking these seemingly unfavorable engagements and going behind and stuff like that. But yeah, Sideshow, who did you vote for?
I voted for Samsi. I just think that he's the best scout around at the moment, the most consistent, the player who takes it the most seriously, the player who's trying to improve his game, and the player that you can rely on to just play flawlessly every game. I don't think he has a bad game.
Yeah,
that's true.
Really solid this season. Looking at the stats, actually, I just looked at Gentleman John's season summary. I don't know what stat you guys think is the most applicable for scouts, but Forsaken was actually top damage. Sorry, Sorex and then Forsaken. But Forsaken didn't make the nominations, but he had a pretty decent season on scout. I felt like he was really reckless. He probably ended up with a pretty slim KD ratio. Like he went in and died a lot, but he like was constantly finding frags for his team.
Pre-season he was super good, but then when the season kicked off, he weren't that good anymore.
I gotta give a shout out to Sorex as well. I'm sure he's obviously in the Prem debut. No, he debuted. I don't know, is he?
No.
Is he in the? He's
Don't
been
think
back
so.
up in previous teams, but this is like a first team where he had like a starring role, if you know what I mean. But like cast at a lot of the Lego games, and he was, you know, a really bright, positive point for him. And like, remember Eshok versus BK whenever Flip worked, and it was Flip and Nico. Like Flip had some big games this season. He was pretty streaky, but like he didn't even get a look in either. There was like a lot of competition in the scout field, I think is what I'm trying to say here. But maybe Zebbosai, I guess another reason why I didn't vote for you is because your team's biggest games, you weren't playing scout. Like your big win against Reason in the main season, that was Nuki's debut, and then like through the playoffs and beyond, it was Nuki as well. So yeah, get wrecked, Zebbosai. SonnyBlack, tell me the results and who you voted for.
I voted for Samzy.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not quite like objective in that matter, but even if you look
plus
at
100 votes for Sam. Yeah,
at the Gentleman John statistics, you can see that Samzy was the best.
go ahead.
Where is it? There. Third place with 22.2% is Nico. Second place with 36% is Sam, and Zebbosai wins with 41.8%.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
ETF2L. Thank you.
Zebbosai.
Samzy has fallen and he cannot get up.
Zebba won, so I was
Yeah.
distracted. Wow, nice, but not nice.
Very nice.
What was the difference in the vote there? Zebo had what percent and Sam had what percent?
In the
Sam
awards,
says 36%.
yeah, in the awards, Zeb was 5% ahead of Sam, and in the nominations, Sam is 20% ahead of Zebo, but
How many
nominations
actual?
don't count.
How many actual votes was it? What was the difference in votes?
53.
Pretty close then. So like if Sam, you know, had got on Twitter there and said, you know, vote for me, guys. Maybe next time. Did Sam win last season?
No, I won last season. And I won best player.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Sam, I forgot. All right, next award here. Sideshow's he's getting antsy. What will we go for next? SonnyBlack, off classer or medic? Somebody, anyone got an opinion?
Premiership debut. Let's go
All
for
right,
that
there we
one.
go. Thank
I
you,
think that's
Zebbosai.
interesting.
Yeah,
Premiership
go for the
debut, please, SonnyBlack. The
We'll go
nominees.
through 2 classes and then to Premiership debut, and then we'll go back to the classes again.
Just,
What is this structure?
We're just winging it, man. We're just winging
Well, I
it, you
think
know?
that
Go with
award
the
is-
flow, dude.
Interesting though.
The
Yeah,
structure
go-
is
go
we
for it,
just
go
do
for it.
whatever Zebbosai wants.
And we give
Whoever
all the
wins
awards to
whoever
Zebbosai.
wins the previous award gets to pick the next award, alright?
But
Did you win the last
I was
award, Sideshow?
surprised I
No.
was even nominated. But like, there's Prem people that nominated me. I was surprised that I didn't think I would make it in either of them. I thought that was weird from the beginning.
Now you
Oh,
made
you do think
Scout
it's a
and
fair-
medic.
Do you think it's a fair result then, Zebbosai?
Well, I think I'm better, yeah.
Alright then. That's all we need to
I
know.
think perhaps Zebbosai's a bit biased.
Maybe. And I have a big ego too.
What advice would you give to Sam next season then?
Well, use his aim. Don't just sit behind everyone.
Stop being a little bit
Just
Samsy,
sit
alright.
behind everyone and win 7-2-5-2.
Like, he's obviously insanely good. Like, no one can play that role the way he does it. Like, yeah, he's really, really good, of course.
So he's the best of a role he plays, but he
He
should play a
says-
different role.
Sam says in Twitch chat, I dominated you for 25 minutes in our official, you little shit. Well, I'm guessing that's what he said. Censored. Go ahead then, Sonny. Make Zebbosai's dream come true. Tell us the nominees for the Premiership debut.
Everyone that was nominated included Ramagan with 3%, Josh with 6.1%, Profix with 9.1%, Feeding with 12.1%, Level Extract with 18.2%. Like, the people that made it in is Lava Extract with 18.2%, Blub with 24.2%, and Nukie with 27.3%.
I can't even remember the times that these people off-classed. What were they playing? Surely not one of these.
it's
Is
debut.
this heavy?
You
Oh,
are fucking.
Oh my god.
I was thinking about it going, when has Lava Extract played Sniper?
Go back in the road and get hit by that car.
You're seriously having some brain problems right
The
now,
guy
man.
who complains about structure.
The legacy of Drosa's brand damage is coming true here. Essentially, you need to seek medical attention. Alright then. I voted for Nuki. But then as soon as I'd voted, again, you know, I was like, I probably should have voted for Larval since he won the season, and in previous seasons I voted on the same logic, but I don't know, Nuki's a player I'm really impressed by, having played with him at Beetle and seen him do it live, and then seen him just step into the Prem and wreck kids. That's who I voted for. I don't have a good reason. But Zebbosai, who'd you vote for?
I nominated Feeling, and then I voted for Blub. I don't know if it's a solo or demo though, but they're like combo players.
Are you for real? You voted for someone you don't even know what
But
class
it's
they
like
play.
He's a
Blub or
demo.
Dob. I don't know who is who, but I know they're
Oh
both
my
good, so it
God.
doesn't matter.
Oh my, Blub is the demo man.
Okay, well I voted for him.
Yeah, he had like crazy stats every game. I don't know how he ended up over the course of the season. Let me look. Gentleman John. Blue was like the third damaging demo man. No, wait,
Considering
he was
they
the
lost
most
most
damaging. The
Was
most
he?
damaging
Considering they
demo.
lost everything, yeah.
Yeah, by DPM. Like the games were, some of them were pretty short, but damage over the minutes 326. Maybe that's just the main season, but yeah, he had a big performance. Yeah, CommanderX, who'd you vote for? White.
I voted for Nuki. Just like I think Larval played well, but again, like how many games did he play in the end? Like a handful. Like he didn't play the whole season, so it's more impressive watching, I guess, someone play more of it. You
Four
know?
maps, I think he played.
How much?
4 maps.
Yeah,
But that's what I mean
pretty-
compared to like Blub. Like I was impressed with like Feeling and Profix as well. Like people who play the whole season. It's more impressive to play like the whole season, I think, than just a few games. And also, it's like with Larval, it's a lot, and even with Nuki, it's easier to play for one of the teams at the top. Like it's easier to make your debut if you're playing for a team that's most likely going to win anyway. Whereas these people have to play with a lot of other people making their debut as well against the best teams, but can still hold their own.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Even though I voted for Nuki.
I also voted for Nuki, but thinking about it now, like it's more impressive, that kind of stuff. But I think Nuki has the most potential.
Jason
Out of
Allen,
all
what were
of
your
them.
thoughts on the new talent entering Premiership this season?
This one, I don't know. I didn't have a really strong opinion on this one. I nominated Nuki, but I kind of only did it because someone, like, when we got the messages from SonnyBlack, someone instantly messaged me and was like, "Oh, we can't nominate Nuki. Apparently, SonnyBlack is a cunt." So I was like, I'm gonna nominate Nuki to, like, you know, make the point that he should be allowed to be nominated. Then when I got to the votes, I decided to vote for Larval Extract. And after voting for Larval Extract, I felt like I probably should have voted for Blub. I wasn't really that convinced one way or the other. Like, I don't know, Nuki played really well in the games that he played, but at the same time, I find him, I don't know, I'm not entirely convinced by him as an overall player, whereas Larval Extract I felt gave quite an accomplished performance. But again, it was in such like limited amount of games, albeit they were like two of Suave's biggest games, like I think Somniac and BK were the 2 games he played, so
Yeah.
that was kind of impressive in its own right. But like CommanderX says, like it is easier at the end of the day to slot in to a team full of superstars or like full of top players than it is to come in with a new team into Prem and give such a solid performance as Blub did. So like I don't know, Blub's of the 3, Blub's performance was the least impressive, but also the most impressive, if you know what I mean. So I was kind of, yeah, I was really like on a 3-way fence on this one.
But
I
all
ended
their
up
heavy
voting for Larval
classes,
though.
the heavy classes in C play, they're all really, really good.
I felt like DOV
Blub
didn't play
build.
well though. I thought he was going to be really good, and I wasn't really impressed by him this season.
I was quite impressed with Profix. I think he seemed like he could be going places.
Feeling as well, like, yeah.
Yeah, I nominated Feeling. He was very solid.
I feel like for a team that's full of potential Premiership debut, upcoming talent, next big players, C-Play kind of didn't do very well.
Because they're German, man.
Because of that, Kraus.
They've got no personalities. Nobody wants to vote for them.
We had 5 really good players, and then Kraus is dragging the whole ship down.
Oh, that's true. That's like, the weight belt, trying to make it harder for themselves. The millstone around their necks. Mikey A. Premiership debut. Who do you think is the next big thing? Who's the next Michael Adam?
Well, it's kind of obvious when you put it like that. I can't remember who I nominated, but I voted for Lava Extract. But like, I was kind of like kaidus too, in that like I don't really know. It's hard to judge because Nookie was playing for BK, Lava Extract was playing for Suave. We only played C-Play in our official as well, so like that was a pretty shitty game. Like I didn't really remember any of their players. So yeah, like Lava Extract played with him quite a bit in MG before like he joined Suave, and then obviously we were friends that way, and it was kind of fun to get him to play in Suave with us. Like it could just as easily have been Nookie, because Nookie played obviously pretty well versus Reason. Actually, I don't know, I didn't watch that game. I just made that up. But like I assume as they beat like Reason, Nookie must have done a pretty okay job. So yeah, but I voted for Lava because he's probably the next me, if anyone.
Interesting. Sideshow, do you think there's like maybe a little bit of a novelty factor? It's like, these players who've come in a short period of time, like Larval Extract, or even Nookie has in a pretty quick rise to fame compared to say like Bloob, who's been playing for quite a long time, working his way up through the divisions. He finally comes to Prem and like has a really solid season, but he's in like the losing team. Like, is no one's gonna vote for him? Or who did you vote for, Sideshow?
I voted for Nookie because he was in my team and I appreciate how good he is just from playing with him, but also because of all the people who were nominated, I can imagine him going into a top Premiership team with a main spot more than any of the others. Like, I can't imagine anyone picking up Larval for a top 3-4 team straight away on Roma, or really anybody on C-Play, but I can imagine Nookie going and getting picked up by somebody, as he nearly did by BK.
Is that required? Do you think if you were recruiting for a Prem team, is it that he's got like a good read on the game, or he's got a lot of previous experience playing in top-ish level teams?
I think he's just got sick DM. I think he's got sick DM on a class where it really matters.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make too many mistakes. Like, I don't want to say he's incredibly smart, but he certainly isn't like brainless. I don't think he doesn't offer himself up as an easy pick, or he's not doing stupid things that let the team down. Like, occasionally kaidus has pointed out things which I can now kind of see in his game, like where it's lack of top experience and stuff. He's certainly got room for improvement, but I think when you compare him to most all-aim, no-brain scouts, Nookie does have more brain than most.
Yeah, like it's way easier for like Nookie to stand out as a scout and sniper, like with that sick aim, than Larval. Like I remember my first few seasons as a Roma, it was really difficult playing like Prem level as a Roma for the first time.
That's because you suck.
Are you still not in Prem, Sideshow?
No, I'm in Prem. Don't worry.
Not yet. You have to play the playoffs, don't you?
No, we've already won,
We won
mate.
the
We've
playoffs.
already won.
No, I mean don't you play versus low Prem teams?
No,
relegation.
No, if you
What,
confirm.
I think
That's
what happens
bullshit.
is
SonnyBlack
like,
fixed this shit.
no, what? That's never happened. Like, the winner of Div 1 has always gone straight in. It's the second place that plays
okay,
against
yeah.
second bottom Prem.
I don't pay attention to the shit teams.
Well, SonnyBlack, who did you vote for? Then hit us with the results.
I think I voted Nookie. just because I don't know.
All aboard the Nookie hype train.
We
don't
all
know
seem
why
to
we did
vote
it,
for
but we
Nookie,
did it.
but none of us are quite convinced we should have voted for Nookie.
I vote for Larval, mate.
I voted for Blub.
Go ahead, Sonny.
Third place with 18.2% is Blub. Second place with 30% is Larval. And first place with 51.8%, and therefore the first Lithuanian to win an award since Extrema in Season 8 is Nookie.
I love the little tidbits you bring in.
I think that's relevant, you know, like remember the Nations Cup where Lithuania had a big run. Did they get to the finals? Did they win it? I forget.
It's the semi.
They
They
came
got to like
to
fourth. or
They
third,
won
didn't they?
against
The-
the
the bronze
mediocre
final, yeah.
German team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Take that, Germany.
You'd almost
So, yeah,
hear
that's,
SonnyBlack starting to cry as he said that.
That's the continuation then of the Lithuanian legacy. What's the what awards do we have left? Medic and is that it?
Medic Demo
SonnyBlack.
Did we do
Off
off
Alright,
class
then.
already?
We've not done off
and
class.
Off-Classer.
Oh wow, so many awards.
Should speed along, maybe. We've been here
You
for
know-
like 2
you know what I-
hours.
Yeah, you know, I made that comment about you being an old age pensioner, and us still
Yeah,
going on tomorrow. There's a quarter of an hour until it's tomorrow for us.
I missed the first half hour of the show, man. You know, I'm trying to, get the full experience here. Go ahead then. Let's hear Demo Man of the Season. Nominees, please.
Nominated were Exxon with 8.6%, Blub with 8.6%, and in the end, In got Rip with 20%, Numlock with 28.6%, and kaidus with 31.4%.
Sideshow.
Oops. Okay, I voted for kaidus.
I
He's
voted
the
for
best.
kaidus. Yeah.
Who did everyone vote for?
Voted for Numlocked.
I can't remember who I nominated, but I voted for Numlocks.
That was another one I was conflicted for, I think Numlock surprised me. But he was also carried by Mike at the same time.
Like, to be honest, like Numlock didn't have a great season, but it's just I don't know. It's like Numlock and kaidus play, or well, as I remember, typically they used to play like completely opposite types of demo man, and it felt like completely opposite to play against them. And like they're both like great. It's just it was just like Numlock's my teammate.
We always give like Nox and people so much praise for like adding more beyond what they can literally do on their class, and that's what kaidus did in Reason, compared to like Numlock to like when Nox
Yeah.
would do it. Numlock were cool, but he wouldn't be the main caller. Like kaidus is doing all that as well as all the stuff he does as well. And like when Reason were playing bad, like kaidus was the one who kind of actually kept them in it and stopped it being a complete embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes
like-
when they had bad games.
I'd say I voted for Numlocks, but I think kaidus probably deserves demo man of the season this season for sure.
His stats are crazy good too. He's like second in damage, kills and assists per death as well.
Almost as good as Blub.
Yeah, and I think it was Numlock pipped him in the other ones, but he got carried hard. No one was able to pressure him. They were all dying to Mike. Tell me, Sideshow, who'd you vote for? Okay.
I vote for I vote for kaidus.
kaidus, who do you think is the best demo man this season?
I don't know. It was kind of like a weird one this season. Like it was the first season after the nerf. I don't feel like I wasn't particularly impressed by any demo's performance this season, including my own. Like obviously I have a lot of insight into my own performance, and I was very happy with what I did. But like kind of like CX said, mainly a lot of it was to do with kind of what I was doing for my team, like behind the scenes, the stuff you don't see. Like I felt like I played decent, but I think everyone kind of have to adjust your standard a little bit of what you get from demos now since the nerf. Like the class is physically capable of less. Like Rib wasn't. I don't think Rib took to the nerf as well as the rest of the demos. Like a lot of demos, they produce lesser stats, but I felt like they could still play the same and have similar impact. Like I think Rib kind of fell off for me. It's kind of like Numlocked with his I don't know. I put it between me and Numlocked, but it's kind of hard to comment because Numlock didn't really play that much, and when he did play, it was kind of like the Mike show just happening, and then Numlock was somewhere there doing things, cleaning things up and whatnot. It's kind of a weird one though.
I was impressed by Hidan. Not to the same standard, but just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I feel like Hidan has surpassed Exxon, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, you fucking beat him tonight, and so there you go. But I mean, as like a demo, I feel like he's the French demo at the moment.
He seems to take his role a bit more seriously than Exxon anyway. He just seems to like totally reckless, considering how pivotal it is. But I've got to resist the urge to discuss the sticky nerf at length. But Zebbosai, you played with Rib this season, casting his games. It looked like he was struggling. A lot of people have said the same. Now that your team is dead or whatever, do you want to throw Rib under the bus?
No, like Rib, he'd never placed the game outside of PCW, so him adapting to the nerf will take longer time, I guess. But he's really at his best when he has a pocket that like takes all the attention, takes all the heals. He can just be in the background, and he's so good at that role too. And with AMS, it didn't really work out. I felt the weeks where I went solely was probably the best weeks for Rib, but they were worse for other parts of our team, I guess. I just think it's the role he had in this team that's why he didn't produce as much as he normally does.
Alright then, SonnyBlack, who did you vote for, and give us the results.
Watch it with for Numlocked. Yeah, then I don't know. I had to vote.
I'll have to stop asking you. Swap that is.
Didn't have a really strong opinion there. Third place with 19.4% is Rip. Second place with 35.7% is Numlocked, and kaidus wins with 44.8%.
Suck a
That's
dick,
about right.
Seb Barton. Congratulations, kaidus. How does it feel to win another Demo Man of the Season award?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I had a lot of fun playing this season. It's nice to get a bit of, just sometimes, when you're playing, you feel like you're doing good, but you don't know. So it's kind of nice to know that some other people maybe thought you were doing okay as well.
Does it mean anything though, like you're telling us there that you didn't even rate any of the other Demo Men in the Prem, like nobody played good? Does the opinion of these fucking scrubs at ETF2L, does that hold any weight with you?
Well, I don't think I think I may have explained myself badly. It's not that I think no demos played well. It's that it's too soon, Everyone's still like, the comparisons you make are still to demos playing before the nerf who just had, a shitload of damage output capacity, like the DPM, the DPS potential was just incredible. Whereas now it's like, it's a bit different, so you're not seeing quite the same thing, so you don't, automatically think they're playing as well. It's just gonna it's more about just changing your perspective, I think. Kind of, in time it's gonna be fine again, and it'll be easier to make these comparisons, but like right now I'm comparing all of these demos, Numlock, myself and Rib, I'm comparing us to the best we ever played. Truth be told, we're never gonna hit those heights again, none of us, because the class just isn't that good anymore. So it's like, it's an adjustment period still, at least in terms of analyzing.
Yeah, you can't really compare kaidus to like Seb, who just came back from an
Or to Mike,
Rip, who...
AO Girl, 600 DPM, whatever it was. Yeah, SonnyBlack, next award then we will look at Medic of the Season. The nominees, please.
Skeech with 2.9%, Izzy with 8.6%, Bull and Zebbosai with 20%, and Merlin with 48.6%.
I think Skeej is criminally underrated, but the person I voted for is of course Merlin, and simply because he's the best. I don't have to play with him, but I'm imagining sometimes he's a bit crazy. Tell me about it, Mike. What's it like playing with Merlin?
It's a very passionate experience.
So much passion. Who did you vote for, or who did you nominate?
I can't remember who I nominated. I voted for Merlin. Surprise.
Nominated Merlin as well.
Zebbosai?
Yep, this one is pretty stupid. I voted for myself here. But of course I think Marl is better. I was just pretty fucking annoyed that we had just lost, so I just nominated myself for all of them.
Well played. Well played.
Thank you.
Kaidus, your thoughts on medics?
Well, yeah, Mirilin's winning this one until he stops playing the game or another medic gets better. Like, I don't think I voted on this one. Like, not for any particular reason other than, I don't know, like, Zebo didn't play enough games on medic. Like, who was the other person to vote for?
Bull.
Bull.
Bull was okay, but he's just not as skilled as Mirilin. And Mirilin, I don't know, like, he was obviously the best medic this season, but I don't know. His stats look kind of weird in places, but yeah, obviously it's Mirilin.
CommanderX.
I vote for Zebbosai. That's mainly just because every
Thank
time
you.
I cast a game, I have to listen to Merlin Witter on for like 10 minutes with some jokes, whereas when Zebbosai comes on, He
Interviewee of
doesn't.
the season.
yeah. I basically made this award my favourite person to interview out of Merlin and Zebbosai award.
Bill's a pretty good interview as well, to be
Yeah.
fair.
But I'm way
He is-
better.
Bull doesn't quite have the ego and drama that Zebbosai can bring to the table.
I remember trying to get Bull when like Flippy played really bad in like that crucial game, like on Viaduct, like he didn't hit any of his sniper shots, and I was like, well, do you think, he let you down? He was like, well, if he wants to snipe, he can snipe. I'm not going to tell him not to snipe. I was like, okay then. Right, we'll move on.
He's always good for drama, like he didn't really censor himself too much. But ironically, that speech that Merlin always read out at the end of every cast or interview about thanking all his fans, he's not here to do it right now. I'm assuming he's going to win. Sideshow, who did you vote for?
I voted for Merlin, but I actually thought that Skeege had a really good season. Best season that Skeege has had, certainly, I think, on Medic. And I thought he played pretty well.
Actually- Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Keep going. I thought you were done, so I was going to chime in, but keep going. I'll join in the end.
I was just going to say that I actually voted for Merlin, like, at the end of the day. Like, I would have still voted for Merlin had Skeege been an option, but, yeah, I think Merlin had a really good season. But I thought Skeege was up there as well.
Yeah, I was going to echo what you said, and like I'm not surprised because Skeege kind of has this, reputation kind of surrounding him. I don't really know. It's an unjustified reputation that he gets for being like not a good medic, but I think Skeege was in the top 3 medics this season. I don't think there's any denying it really from me at least. But then again, I have the skewed opinion on this because I play every day with him. Don't play every day with the other medics.
I think previously, like, I've watched him play, and he was the limiting factor on a few teams that he was in. So I don't know whether it's really like a completely undeserved reputation, but I think it completely this season just didn't apply even in the slightest. It was like watching someone else play, really.
That's called chill Skeege. About the pressures of calling his team to victory.
He's much better
Okay.
not calling, yeah.
SonnyBlack, who did you vote for? Merlin. Who won?
Obviously, I voted for the most passionate medic.
Skeege.
Yep. Third place is Zebbosai with 18.3%. Second place is Bull with 20.8%, and Merlin won with 60.9%.
Finally, Zebbosai didn't win a fucking award. Well done.
Fuck Zebo.
Well, I got
Congratulations.
18%, though. That bad?
You should write that in your
Zebbosai's hating
CV,
never
mate. I
loses.
got 3rd in the Medic of the Season award. Okay. Congratulations, Merlin. You are the best. You are an inspiration. Your passion, it warms my heart. But SonnyBlack, let's jump to the last award, is it? Just one left?
It's like if you would
There's 2
read my
left.
messages, there's, I don't know, there's, what's left? Off-classer and
Scout.
No,
We
we've done
already
that.
had Scout.
Okay, just off class then.
it's off-classer
Oh,
left,
damn it.
but
No,
I
you're
have,
right, let's talk about Scout some more.
Best class in the game.
I have 2 special ones. Apart from the regular.
SonnyBlack has made
Alright.
up 2
Do you want to save
other
them for the
random
end?
awards.
Yeah, I guess.
All right,
Let's go
then
with
tell
off
us.
class again.
Go for it, man. The nominees, please, SonnyBlack. Open that envelope.
Nominated were Stark with 3.1%, Zebbosai with 3.1%, Degon with 3.1%, Drozo with 3.1%, Nox with 9.4%,
Nox.
Forsaken with 34.4%, and Flippy with 43.8%.
Wait, was Nox
Was the
nominated?
Nox
Well,
one
Nox
just a
played
troll
Solly.
for playing Scar?
Nox played
Was the
Spy
Spy
in the
play?
final and killed himself.
And they played Solly like whole season.
And he played
Nox-
Demo Man that game. He was
Nox
pretty alright
didn't
at
make
Demo
it
Man.
in. Calm down.
I wish he had. I just
Was Zebbosai
If he
nominated for
won
his
it,
medic
that's
play?
fine.
Is that why he's an off-classer?
I didn't make it in. It was like 1%.
Merlin nominated Zebbosai.
Oh, thank you, Merlin.
All right then. So was it just 2 people then in the nominees, or in the actual people you could vote for
It was only 2. It was Forsaken and Flippy.
for their sniper plays? We should just rename this award to this fucking Sniper of the Season award.
Didn't Kyler
Yeah.
get it for playing a good pyro last season?
Yep.
See,
Okay,
that is
take it
God,
back.
that must have been a
That's
boring
great.
season.
He didn't get it. He was nominated, but he didn't get it.
God damn it.
I voted for Forsaken because I usually always end up voting for Flippy, I guess. And I felt like Forsaken had more of an impact on his off-classing. He probably played the most minutes of Sniper of anyone in Prem, I'm guessing. I could look that up, actually. But, Kaidus, who did you vote for?
I voted for Flippy. I don't know, like, I remember he didn't play very well in that one game, like the really important game for Somniac against Suave, but like, I don't know, like, my memory of the season is just kind of, you know, the whole season with PCWs and everything, and when I think about playing against a player who's going to off-class and make my life problematic, it's like always Flippy. Like, with Forsaken, there's a lot of nice stuff going on, but it's kind of like, it was really streaky, like for 1 week he'd be super hot, and then the next week super not, and this kind of stuff. Whereas with Flippy, it's just like a constant like pain in your ass. So he always like sticks in my mind for that.
Let me drop some knowledge here. Looking at Gentleman John stats, minutes played, Flippy 98 on Sniper, Forsaken 79. Flippy had 72 kills, Forsaken had 66. They both had 62 deaths, but Forsaken did more damage, 300 DPM. So he's clearly the best. CommanderX, who did you vote for? You love Forsaken,
I
right?
voted for Forsaken, obviously. Like,
Yeah, you're homeboy.
I probably would have voted for Forsaken regardless, but like, I actually think he was better. Like, he had more of an impact, and Flippy kind of sucks out when they needed him the most as well, which was really uncharacteristic for Flippy. But it gives me a vague justification for voting for Forsaken. So I think he's really good at Sniper. And they probably would have done better if he played more Sniper this season.
Yeah, I actually thought that Forsaken didn't really deserve to be in there because when he off-classed to Scout, they started losing, so he was actually the worst off-classer of the season. He should have stuck to his main. It was the only way they were winning.
Who did you vote for, Sideshow?
I voted for Forsaken because he's just godly on Sniper. And I think he's starting a Russian team now where he's playing Soldier again or something. Just stop. Russians, please stop. Put him back on full-time Sniper and just win games. Just don't put him on a normal class. Put him on Sniper, hit everything, win a game.
Tell me then, Mikey, who do you think's the best off-classer of the season? Who do you nominate and vote for?
Nominated Forsaken, voted for Forsaken because his sniping was just ridiculous. It's better than, well, we only played, like, it's so shit, like, we didn't PCW or something like the whole season, and then in our official, Flippy didn't show up at all, so that's my only thing I saw with him. But like, when we PCW'd Lethal Weapon quite a lot, and in our official, he was just like a huge game over the Sniper, so yeah, I voted for Forsaken.
Zebbosai, you fancy yourself as a sniper, but are unfortunately pretty terrible. Who did you vote for?
I voted for Forsaken because he, well, as kaidus said, like during the whole season, I count PCWs and shit was insane. And
Yeah,
killed Knutson all the time.
One thing, like watching Beater's ETF2L Season 20 highlights video, there's a lot of clips of Forsaken in there, so he definitely had some big moments, but they didn't seem to sort of produce results for them in the league table necessarily. SonnyBlack, who did you vote for and what were the results?
I'm not even sure who I voted for, to be honest.
There was no one from Swab, so you were like, what does this award matter?
It's the closest award, I think.
Ooh.
The second place with 48.2%
Drum roll.
is Flippy, and Forsaken wins with 51.8%. And that's the first time since season 15 not a French player hasn't won the off-class award.
Wait, did Forsaken win? Sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah.
They won.
Were you distracted by looking at your own tight biceps or something?
Distracted by trying to breathe consistently in this show.
I think you're violating some kind of Twitch agreement that we've got here by wearing that.
It'd be less offensive if I just went back to smoking on stream.
So, congratulations to Victor. He is the victor.
He says, fuck yeah, fuck Frenchies.
Let's go for your special awards. Or actually, I think D-Gun's a really good off-class or multi-class, but he didn't even have any time on Sniper, and nobody cares if you're not sniping. But yeah,
He played
go ahead.
Pyro.
He's better at
He
every
played
other
Pyro
spy
quite
than
a
he
lot.
is soldier.
And Spy.
He killed himself on Spy as well, though. In one of his games, he accidentally, instead of hitting his disguise bind, just hit his kill bind and just died when they were trying to push last.
Oh, it wasn't actually Nox Mastermind after all.
No, he just hit a wrong bind.
The French thing.
So yeah, tell us about your special awards then, SonnyBlack.
Is there one for tightest shirt?
No.
Biggest forehead.
Do you win that, or do I win that?
Most times mistakenly hearing a car during a cast.
The first
Go on,
one is
Sully.
a notable mention, and that one goes out to teamfortress.tv for wait, I have something written down. For the casters, streamers, production crew, and everyone else involved for managing to cast every single Premiership match in season 20, including a triple header.
That was sick.
Oh yeah, that was true. Yeah.
Oh, we did
Wow.
that, didn't we? I remember
That's
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All those people who cast it a game this season. Hold on, I've actually got a list here. I could tell you that David the Win streamed the most games because we don't have like a streamer of the season award. Let me just take this time to. I'll read out the names real quick. Dashner, David, Sim, Suyo, Ari, myself, the CommanderX, Sideshow, Turbo Tabs, Ryushi, Hildreth, Alash, Mana, Kaidus, Merlin, War, Twiggy, Stark, Sheepy even cast a game which I really enjoyed. Kratos cast, Gobbins as well made his debut. And then there's loads of people working on the technical McGubbins behind the scenes, like the Supreme Commander without his plugins would be lost. Gentleman John and his stat shenanigans. Ari, of course. Like, there's so many things we take for granted. Zub for logs.tf. Yeah, cheers, guys. We did it. We were really quite, I don't know, motivated to cast every game for some reason. David the Win in particular. I had a massive hard on to make sure we cast it 100% of the Prem games, and we did it. So yeah, I'm giving ourselves a pat on the back. Well done, guys. We're not going to do it next season. We're just burned out now. There'll be no
I thought it was
coverage
like-
next season.
I thought you got like halfway through the season, realised you'd done every game so far, and just decided, fuck it, we'll keep this going. I didn't realise you'd started out with that intention. That's
Oh
really cool.
well,
This is the first time hearing of this intention.
I think it was like
Just
that. It
keep
was like after
signing
week 2 or 3, we were like, wow, we've cast all the games. Let's go all the way. But yeah. So is there now just a Team Fortress TV award or what, Sonny? Is
Do
there?
we all get our own trophies?
Oh, I didn't mention John's name either. There he is, fucking hosting fully charged. But he had been busy at
Fuck
school.
blackout.
this season, and then he started back with the Highlander and stuff. But he did do all the fully charged for us as well. But it's just his name's not in the spreadsheet I'm looking at. Sorry, John. Much love to John as well. He's just built a machine for encoding streams at 1080p. So Highlander are going to have the first ever 1080p Team Fortress 2 streams. Highlander is now the master race. Time to move over, guys.
Shout out to Ferak too for the ELO stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good award actually. Sonny, you got any more community related awards?
Yeah, one more.
Has Zebbosai ruined it?
No, the honorary award goes this season goes to Ari for where is it? For his sublime service for the better of the community and his continued support for and with several organizations, among others Vanilla TV, Team Fortress TV, Serve Me TF, and ETF2L. There you go.
Alright, you're my hero, buddy. Everybody uses Ari's service.
Yeah, I don't think anyone have their own servers anymore.
No, it's kind of, in a way, it's made us all incredibly lazy and killed a lot of server providers off, probably, because we now just use like the same 20 servers just in rotation around the community. But it's a phenomenal tool.
It's more
And all these
economical for the
orgs as well.
environment.
Why do you need to join an org anymore? You just get a free server from Serve Me. You're killing TF2 as an esport, Ari. You know, please stop. So sorry, what are we not even going to talk about Mike's awards? Mike has won
did at the
runner-up
beginning.
season.
At the
I know,
beginning.
but
We talked about it about 3 hours ago.
was there like actually no one else nominated? You know, it's the award itself isn't just who wins; it's also who was recognised or whatever.
There have been nominations. Like I think I only said the nominations for Roma, but in the end, Mike got for Roma. He got 88.6% out of all nominations. Zoop and TMAC each got 5.7%, and for best player, Mike got 75.8%, and we have 4 players with 3%, which is Stark, Shadowburn, Zebbosai, and Forsaken, and 2 players with 6%, which is Nox and Tech.
So Stark got nominated for
Stark.
best player, but not best
He
roamer.
got 1 nomination. Like I could check from who.
So did people even get to vote on Mike? I'm just looking at the ETF2L news post. Did you just
No.
remove
He just
the
got
categories with
awarded.
Mike in them?
Yeah.
So we don't even know what the public thought. Because like there were awards, like there were awards this season where
like
the
Fantasy
Prem
had more
nominations thought one thing.
nominations.
Yeah, exactly.
And Zebbosai.
I would have loved to see Mike get fucked over, but you've taken that away from me, SonnyBlack.
I haven't seen anyone complain that they couldn't vote for Mike.
Well, here you go. Here's your first complaint, buddy.
Yeah, it's too late now. Polls are closed.
So, well, that's the end of the awards then, I guess. Is that it, SonnyBlack? Have you got any other announcements up your sleeve? You want to talk anything about season 21?
I'd like to give a personal shout out to Permzilla, who's a little bitch ass, and apparently vetoed me getting an award last season for my casting. So, here's the hey Permzilla. I'm glad he's gone from the admin team. That's all I'm saying.
About season 21, like I think signups for that will open in like 2 weeks, and the season will start at like don't let me lie, like early to mid-May.
I got a big question there for you then, SonnyBlack. I'm sure you must have thought about it already. Is there going to be another fundraiser? Is this going to be a regular thing, or was that a one-off for season 20?
As I said at the start, when you haven't been here.
Oh wow! I didn't get the memo.
It was supposed to be a one-off thing with season 20, since season 20 was something special in a way, but yeah, we are not sure if it's feasible to like run a fundraiser every season with almost the same perks.
What about pay to play,
we were
SonnyBlack?
thinking about it. Yep, that's also a concept I've been thinking a lot about.
For the Prem, at least.
Yeah, do it in Prem at least.
Yeah, in the
I don't know
end,
whether
like
you really
everyone's
could.
for it again. Like everyone was for ESEA Europe, and then nobody pays or nobody shows up, or teams fold after a week.
It's
much easier. It's much easier for you guys to then say like, we're going to start phasing in pay to play, and there's nowhere else for people to disappear to. Whereas if ESEA
You've got the monopoly, man.
yeah, you've got the monopoly
Abuse
to
that
play
part.
with. But I don't know. Like I feel like there's definitely some players playing in Prem this season and next season who honestly wouldn't be able to afford like a decent contribution to ETF2L.
Shit, that ain't true.
No.
What about
Like
the poor
say
little
50
Lithuanian
euro
people?
per
Name me
team.
one player that wouldn't be able to find the money. Like, just as an example. For,
Isn't
like,
Sorex like 30?
Arvind has owed me 10 quid for the last
what?
5
No,
months.
he's not in Prem. That kid sucks.
Yeah,
0-1.
but like I'm thinking it Evoke and Nuki and
No,
Admirable,
Nuki is a
these
rich
poor little...
Lithuanian. No, Nuki and Evoke are both rich after we went to Lithuania and just gave them all our excess money that we didn't
What about
spend.
items? Like,
But
you
the
could pay with
teams,
items.
the teams would help. Like if
Yeah, like,
Ams
Nuki
didn't
won
have the
money
money,
this
I'd
season.
pay €5 for him. That's not a problem.
Like, he literally won. Didn't he win 2 separate prize pools this season? So Nuki's
Yeah,
fine.
man,
Like,
he's
Evoke's
loaded.
fine.
He's
He
just
won
rolling in
prize
the dollar.
pools. Like, people
You
will
showed
help their
just won a
teammates
bunch of
out,
money.
surely. If it's not that much, like, their teammates will help each other out. Like, they'll
Yeah,
be
like-
left over prize pools and shit like that. I think
If
it
it's
can work.
like what, €10 or whatever, then each player from your team has to contribute like an extra €2 or something.
I think though that it also, for the people who are going to be in the bottom of Prem, doesn't it promote them to not want to play in Prem and just instead play in high and win the prizes there?
Said the sandbagger.
Yeah, but if it's a small amount of money, it's not going to matter either way. Do you know what I mean? Like someone just wrote, like Samsy wrote €5 for 3 months or something like that. No one's gonna give a shit.
What's the significance
Really?
of it though? It's like,
But say
is it for the
50
prize pool? It's like if you pay entry to ESEA, it's because like potentially you have the chance to go to LAN, but for ETF2L, it's just like a forced donation.
But like say €50 from each Prem team. That's would make like
It's an extra
€400.
€400, yeah.
Yeah.
But is
And
that
it's
going to
not
make a difference?
money.
So is that really going to change anything? No, it's like a bigger prize pool, and it lets us all say, okay, this is a valid way to spend our time. But is that enough money? Is it going to make a difference? So
Well,
what's the
in
point?
the end,
Is what I'm
people
trying to ask.
don't play TF2 for money, but of course it's more fun.
Would it make you take the game seriously if you thought, shit, I've got money on the line here? Does that help?
Man, I'm still looking for my first TF2L victory.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's definitely something to think about or consider. SonnyBlack, I want you to release those statistics from the fundraiser. The fact there was only like 3 people in Prem that I even donated to.
It wasn't 3
Five.
people.
5, okay. 5 out of whatever the fuck number of people playing Prem.
Wait. 5 out of 87.
Yeah, that's decent. But as a percentage of the number of players, it wasn't that bad, was it?
5%
Compared to the other divisions?
Or,
I think that's still pretty bad, isn't
I
it?
think 5%.
Like if you because a lot of the people who donated like went on a team this season, which I thought was quite interesting. Like
not only, right?
wasn't it like 20% of the donation?
No.
or something were from-
63% actually played in season 20 and 36%. 36% didn't play in season 20 or have never played in ETF2L. But in the end, the money, it was €1,854 coming from season 20 players and €1,573 coming from either players who haven't played in ETF2L ever or who haven't had a team in season 20.
And I think that to me opens like a big door for encouraging donations
not
from
just
people in
Americans?
season 20. No, it was like
We also have country
viewers and
statistics.
stuff as well.
No, but as in the people who have never played in ETF2L, would they not like
No, I
American
don't think
Sixes
so.
players?
I don't think so. America was like 3rd or 4th, but it wasn't like a massive amount.
5.6% came from America, from all the money.
I just think that if you've got like almost half of your money in this donation coming from people who weren't even in the season, then if you persuade people who are actually playing to donate more, then you're just going to increase the price. But it's not like you're only marginally raising it because these people were going to donate anyway. You're literally tapping into a new pool of players who weren't donating, like all the Prem players weren't donating, so boom, there's an extra €400. Or like if you persuade people to donate because they don't get the prize money unless they donate at the beginning of the season or something, then boom, that's extra money because those people didn't donate this season.
Maybe you just need more interesting perks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
like,
people a reason
What
to donate.
perks now?
I don't know, man.
Like, I don't know, maybe if you donate over €100, you can take Zebbosai's sister on a date.
Still have to make the emoticons happen.
You want to find Mike and Perm's sister?
€200, top perk.
We should probably have another fully charged in a few weeks.
Right
Or I
now?
don't know.
Yeah.
No, I mean to discuss season 21 because we're always crying over some admin decision or another. Can we put our heads together, SonnyBlack? Come up with an amazing plan for season 21.
Sure.
I want to see a pay to play Premiership. If the Prem players had to pay and like people knew that, would that make you donate more? Not as a non-Prem player, would you think yes, this is worth donating to? These guys have actually invested something for once. They're not just there for a fucking free ride. Mike Adams just there to steal everyone's money and run away, numlocked. Would that make a difference? What we really want, SonnyBlack, is a LAN. Even if you could just take the 3 teams that make it into the playoffs and take them to a fucking tiny office in Germany for a weekend, I would donate for that. Take them to TT office. Campo will put them up.
Yeah, it's also something I've been thinking about, but like in the end, even when was that? Catman proposed to Canada at some point to host a LAN in the Ukraine.
Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's quite some time ago. But he only told Canto like, here you can have money, and go host it. But I'm not even sure if I should say that. So
If it happened 2 years ago, it's probably not relevant. It's probably like safe to talk about.
I've been thinking about a LAN in like Frankfurt, which is central for everyone, but
Are you thinking of
it's
like
still a lot of costs.
SonnyBlack, do you happen to live in Frankfurt?
A
playoff LAN?
Frankfurt.
Yo.
Oh, look, Merlin just got muted. That's
fancy that. How did that happen?
Oh, okay. Let's unmute him. What's up, Merlin?
Yo, people wanted me here, so I decided to join.
I think you could close out the show for us, Merlin,
A good joke.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready, mate.
What can be worse than Zebbosai playing medic?
Merlin, I don't know. What could be worse than Zebbosai playing medic?
When CommanderX is voting for him as the best medic of the season.
Oh, here's one. Here's a community favourite as well. An award that should have been put in. Who is the worst player of Prem for season 20?
That was Pyro Radio Awards. That wasn't
was the best
TF2
award.
Awards.
Yeah, exactly. They were fantastic, right? And the
I'd like
people
to
want
nominate
it.
Kratos.
Go on then, Admirable. Who would you nominate for worst player of season 20 in Prem?
Wait. I take it beta. Wordplay
beta.
best frag videos.
I think... I don't know, maybe Cuba
Demo.
at the start of the season. He was a little bitch. Maybe Kratos. Maybe
Pepe.
Exxon.
What about you, Kaidus?
I said
Zub,
Pepe.
maybe Zub as well.
Pepe. He gets one mention all night, and it's
Nah, not happy. I don't fucking know, man.
Oh, bless him. He was doing so well this season as well. I felt like he was really like
We
a
didn't
good
even
player.
talk about it with this guy this season.
No.
Like,
What about
who would-
Monty?
Like,
He
the
was
bottom two
anonymous mentioning
teams, the bottom two teams like Lego and C-Play, I feel like I didn't even see them this season. We played our matches and just didn't see them apart from that, so I have no idea. But I assume they're on one of those two teams, whoever they are.
I can tell you that Kratos had the worst stats on Skype. On Soldier, the worst player was Salmon in terms of damage. Oh wait, who the fuck is Salmon? CPL Gamer 2005?
Yeah, that's Salmon.
Okay.
It can't have been Salmon. He didn't play. He was playing in Looters in high.
Followed by Laravel. DOB actually had the worst KD. And Forsaken had the worst KAD. Demo Man, according to the stats, the least damage was Rib. And the worst KD was Phil. Followed by Death. No shockers here. Let me look at medics then. Drag this out as long as possible.
Lulu.
The
What about
Lulu? This will blow you away. The medic who did the least damage was knocked, so he's clearly the worst. The lowest kills assist to death was Lulu, followed by Cuba and Beater, but Lulu was quite some distance behind those two. So yeah, Lulu is the worst player in Prem. There you go. It's official.
Bless her heart. She was just trying to get them to play normally. Play
fucking normal. All right.
Shout
yeah,
out.
can we bring back some fucking dramatic awards, SonnyBlack? Just let Pirate Radio do it. We get Greg back. And
Where is Pirate Radio now?
Greg's playing, man. He's playing one day a week in some mid team.
Have to get DJC back.
He's away currently. I can't get hold of him.
DJC, what was it? Favorite host or favorite guest?
Yeah, right now then, once we have SonnyBlack thinking about next season, does anyone have any burning issue they want to bring up about season 20 or things that need to be changed for next season? You know, speak now or forever hold your peace. This is your opportunity.
Please try and blackmail, threaten, or just generally persuade, bribe, or encourage EMB to implement double elimination so that we can have it as an opportunity for, or like a possibility, sorry, for cups or tournaments or things, because it'd be so good to have that in the playoffs.
I think there is a GitHub request card or whatever from me already for that, but I guess it's buried underneath more important stuff.
I got a suggestion or a request or something to consider. Would you consider spreading the prize money out a little bit more in Prem, even if like down to 8th place just got a token amount? Because right now there's like this weird situation where only the top 3 get paid, and then the people who win high get paid like a significant amount of money, and the 5 teams in Prem are sort of like.
That's a brilliant idea. Let's carry on with that, and I'll be playing high next season with Elo Girl again.
It might even make it a little more competitive in all the places outside the playoff spots, because like even right to the end of the season you still have something to play for if you could change your placement. I know it wouldn't be much money at all, but it's just an idea. Think about it, buddy.
What teams are even gonna be in Premier season? The only team that is left is like Reason.
People are already asking me.
Taking home the gold.
What about Lego? Did Lego not stay around?
They got last
Lego
place.
is promoted pretty. I'm not sure if Lego ever wants
Oh
to
yeah,
play
because
Prem
I'm
again.
sure they're gonna go back to high if there's only one team in Prem. Like they would have to go into Prem.
I talked to Phil and they want to play Prem next season too, he said.
Maybe I don't have to force them for once
The
then.
Frenchies will end up making some kind of team. eShocker's sticking around, replacing a few people. The Russians will make some kind of team that may or may not fold at about week 3 or 4. There'll be us, Reason. What about what are you doing next season, Zebbosai? We were hearing whisperings of something going on there.
Oh, the brother thing is just bullshit. But,
is there no truth behind it at all? Is nobody coming
there's
back or
nothing,
doing anything?
There's nothing
that's
behind
so
that.
disappointing.
This is part of your plan, isn't it? You're going to tell us it's bullshit when it's really true, right?
No.
Come on,
But,
Zebbosai.
I was talking to Sam about potentially making a team, but I think Mike killed that already. So I asked Lego if I could trial for them. And that's all I have going.
How did you kill it, Mike?
Yes,
I
maybe
said
you could tell
no.
them.
So what are your plans for next season?
Before Mayo kill.
Like, I nearly choked there, and my dog's just looking at me like I killed his father. So I go back to sleep. I was just
Is he driving
coughing
the car?
What are you planning to do then? Are you not sticking together with Sam and trying to do something with Suave? I saw a recruitment post hanging around.
For me?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I just told you.
Yeah, but I don't believe you. You're not going to try and reform AO Girl. What are you talking about?
I don't fancy playing, really. So.
You rage quit AO Girl because Stark was toxic, beat you at MGE, and I started eating pancakes.
Yeah, but we're gonna reform without Stark this time. That's the plan. Like, Koss is back. Hoku's back. All coming together.
Thank God our two hard carries are back on the table.
Can anyone tell me who won WCS today? Zebbosai, were you watching it?
Polt won. 4-3.
Yeah.
Hydra had a 3-1 lead, and then
Spoiler
Polt
alert.
turned it back. And we
3-1?
almost got non-Korean into the final. One game away.
Is that Mike's dad?
Who was it? Who made it?
Well, almost Bunny. He lost by 1 game to Polt.
Oh,
And
he's
Polt
good.
won
He's
the...
sick.
Yeah. It's pretty awkward though, but...
Was that Daddy Adams?
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, did he come and tell you off? You're being too noisy. It's pretty late, Mike. Pretty late. You better get to bed. Bedtime for Michael.
You're unicycle practice in the morning. Okay. Let's save all the team gossip then for our future fully charged in 2 weeks or whatever. I'll show up late. It's Merlin, you wanted to do shoutouts, you know, you've got your speech prepared. Congratulations on the medic of the season. Go for it, Merlin. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, but like I should be the last one.
Oh,
speaking.
you want to go last? I'd like to shout out to SonnyBlack. Great work being admin. You're the best thing since Permzilla. Congratulations on a great season. CommanderX.
Shout out to Twiggy for doing all the stuff, all the casts and that for Gamers Assembly. This weekend, he put in loads of effort, made it work, even though it was far from ideal circumstances for himself, and he was mega tired and all that. Shout out to Forsaken for finally actually winning something. Maybe he'll join a good team one day. That's it.
Kaidus.
Shout out to everyone.
Mike.
Ah,
Shout out to Koss. Hoku.
what about Stark?
Stop. You're setting yourself up for an absolute failure here.
Sideshow.
I had something, but now I've forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, shout out to anybody attending Info Show or playing in the off-season ELO League hype about Frax ELO League. Sign up for that if you want to play some video games during the off-season. It's a bit of a prize pool. It's not very much, but there is a bit of a one.
Oh yeah, real quick then, 2 announcements. The Ulti Cup coming up Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Info Show from the weekend after that. Zebbosai, your shouts?
Shout out to Frack, Beater, Ari, teamfortress.tv, and ETF2L.
SonnyBlack, you know, you get shoutouts too. You're a real person.
Shout out to Zeppi or Ips and Sam, and shout out to Merlin, so he doesn't have to cry anymore. And shout out to TF2 Pickup, TF2 Center, Scrap TF, Surf TF, Logs TF, Teamfortress.tv, everyone that's supporting ETF2L or the community in a way.
John isn't a real person, so he doesn't get shoutouts, but I'll
Streamers are not real persons, we know that.
I'll promote Blackout TV. You know, they're doing a great job of that. Like, check out the Highlander coverage this season, guys. You can't actually find any of the 6v6 news posts because they're always fucking bumped by interviews with Highlander Prem players and casts and stuff, but like, yeah, their coverage is really going insane this season. Step it up, Sixes community. I'm not going to write any fucking articles.
I've actually been persuaded, or duped, I feel like is the correct word, into watching some Highlander this season already because Saloon.tf, you know, and the sick write-ups and stuff. I feel like I'm sat there watching it, not understanding anything that's going on, not really appreciating what's happening or any of the skill involved. But hyped for one team to win and me to get tons of hats.
Yeah, shout out to Saloon.tf as well. And now, Merlin, you know, please, if you're ready, Meister.
Thank you. Yes. So as far as I'm concerned, I received like 60% of all votes in Medic. So I definitely want to say big thanks to all of you, my friends, my fanboys, my followers, whoever you are for me. I love all of you. You are my passion. You are my strength. You are my motivation to play the future games and try hard as much as I can. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're all the best. And of course, the shout out goes to SonnyBlack because I promise him a shout out if he makes a shout out for me. And thanks, everybody. See you next season.
Thank you, Merlin. Sideshow, you're the host. You should close this out.
Good night.
Superb. Nailed it.
I got it.